Good morning, Bowls buddies. It's Friday, Ask Andy time. I've got a couple of questions to answer for you guys over the next 10-15 minutes or so. Massive thank you to everyone who's become a Bowls buddy. You do that, costs nothing by the way. Hit the subscribe button underneath. You'll just need an email address. It's dead simple. Even my mum's done it, so it can't be that difficult. And of course, click the notification bell and that'll tell you when there's new content on the site. And if you like this video and any of the other videos you want, smash that like button. It all helps in bringing these videos up when you search on YouTube. Okay, so the first question I've got is from Michael Hobson. I think they call him Magic, from the Sheffield area. He noticed that the other week when I was talking about referees, I mentioned the panel. And he just doesn't know what it is, and I'm sure there's a few of you out there, maybe a lot of you out there, that have never been to a panel game or seen a panel game in action. So I'm not going to give you the history of the panel because I could do half an hour on that on its own, and I wouldn't do it justice on one of these programs. It's probably an idea for a standalone. So I'll just give you an idea of the current setup, how it differs from the BCGBA version of the game, and its reason for being there really. So the first thing is it's based at the Red Lion Bowling Green in West Horton. Play goes on there Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday, 12:30 start. There's 2 games per day usually, starting at 12:30. Both games are 31 up. To make it a bit more confusing, they play off 10, because historically it was always a 41 up game, but it's essentially a 31 up match. And the reason these games are played is so people can go and bet on the outcome of the matches. So the idea is there is a group or panel of players who play Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. People go, pay to get in, and they then can shout their own odds on the outcomes of the game. The games are normally paired up, so you've got similar ability players playing one another, and this hopefully will ensure a good game with a close outcome. Ideally for the bettors that go there, they want a 41-40 game where the lead's changed hands several times, so they can make a winner out of their book. If you can back both players to win the game at some point during that 41 up game, then you can't lose. That's the idea. Of course, the panel has left quite a few men poor over the years, but that's their reason for going, so that they can try and win a few quid. Of course, another little nuance of the panel is the starts that sometimes give players. Obviously, they try and get the matches so that they don't need starts, but maybe the 2 players involved have played several times already. One's got a better record than the other, so the person with the worst record would generally get a little bit of a start. And normally it's you only have a 1 or 2, and they get the jack at the first end usually. It's very rare that you'll see games where players are getting 4, 5, 6 start. That would mean that the match hasn't really been particularly well made. Of course, if the betting starts too high, so if somebody shouts odds of 6-4 against the back man, that means that the start's wrong, and they'll add another chalk to that person's start, which should bring the odds down. They try to get it so it's 4-5, take your pick at the start of every game. That's the idea. You certainly don't want somebody, giving 5, 6, 7, 8 starts in a match on the panel. It's not usually good for betting. The odds of the game changes at the conclusion of every end. So the game might start out level start, possibly 4-5, take your pick, and then as the game progresses, somebody will go in front, then they might be caught and go behind, and the odds change over the course of the game. And if you pay your money and go in, you're a bookmaker for the day. That's how it works. So you can just follow everyone else, or you can make your own odds. Becomes a bit tricky if you don't know what you're doing, and I know over the years many people have been fleeced. Back in the day, there would have been several hundred round the green watching and shouting the odds. Now maybe it's down to 40, 50 hardy souls that go, and that might only be on the better days. Unfortunately, there's other things you can do now to gamble your money away with online betting apps, etc. So the appeal of going watching Crown Green Bowls for a bet isn't just as high as it once was. But they still have some great players going there. I know Graham Wilson plays on a Monday. You have players like Wayne Ditchfield, Neil Bithell, Noel Burrows, Stuart Mort, Chris Morrison. They've still an amazing group of players who are all fantastic ability. They've also, I think it's generally on a Thursday, have players of maybe a lesser ability or maybe not as well known that play. And funnily enough, some of those games are often better betting matches. But you know, if you're of a decent ability and you ever fancy it, I'm sure if you got in touch with the British Professional Crown Green Bowling Association, to give it its full title, they do have a Facebook group. If anyone feels like they might be good enough, you may be able to get a trial, and if they think you're any good, they'll give it a go. Of course, it's not professional in the sense of how it used to be a paid profession. Nowadays you have to pay to play. I'm not exactly sure, it's a long time since I've played, but I think now it might be each player pays £20 and the winner of the match might get 50 or 60. I'm not sure how much the panel put into that prize fund. As I said, it's based in West Horton. Back in the day you used to go around Lancashire playing at different greens, but now it's just played at the Red Line. That is their headquarters. They may have a couple of weeks down the road in Hindley at the Lord Nelson, but I'm not sure if they've done that recently. It's a vastly different beast to the old panel where, you know, the great names of the past used to play and get paid for playing and get a fraction of the gate receipts and things like that. It's not like that anymore, but you can still go and enjoy a really good game of bowls, played under slightly different rules. It's 2 throws of the jack. They now play standard jack, but they only use little tiny mats. They're about that size, and as long as your foot's somewhere in the vicinity of that mat, that's okay. Measuring done with normal measures now, but if they can't split an end, they still use straws. And if you've never seen that in action, that is something. It's not unique to the panel because they do it at the Griffin in the winter rules there, but cutting a straw is something to behold, and there is a bit of an art to it. So once this lockdown's over and we can get back to playing bowls, if you ever fancy seeing a blast of from the past, a glimpse of history, I'd certainly advise you to go and watch a panel game for the afternoon. It's 3 hours of great entertainment. It might only cost you a couple of quid. They do have hot and cold refreshments available, and it's a really, really good green too. You'll be able to watch players. You can stamp, you run after your balls, no problem. Play high speed, send the jack out before your opponent stood behind you, things like that. You don't have to tell them the bias even. Just get on with the game. If you're a professional, you should know what bias they're going. So it's certainly not one for the purists, but it is a great game, slightly different to the game that we normally play, and it's a real enjoyable afternoon. So get yourself down there. Second question today is from a guy called Dave Parkin, who got in touch on the YouTube comments. So if any of you want to leave a comment on this video or any other videos, I will see them. I do go through them. So any questions, either through that or email me. Email's here. And he actually asked two questions, but I think it's the second question I'm going to answer. why did a Lancashire lad like me go and do all his competitive bowling in Yorkshire? It's an interesting question. I've always been a big believer in you should play at the highest standard you possibly can, and in my opinion, the Tuesday night Murphyfield League is the best league in the country. For a time, it was eclipsed by the old Premier League, Manchester United's Premier League, but since that demise, Tuesday night Murphyfield League is the best league to play in. And I played for a few seasons with Morton House, with the Fishers, Ash Tats, who else? Mike Sweeney. I won't name them all. Eventually, I managed to get Jimmy Darby and Gary Ellis to go and play as well, while I was playing with Tong on a Wednesday night. And of course, we eventually won the Murphyfield League the year I left. So maybe I was a problem, but I had a great time there. Really enjoyed the bowling. So difficult, no practice for away players, playing, county bowling standard on away greens with no practice. It's not easy, and it certainly honed your game. So I started playing over there maybe 2010, possibly 2009. I can't just remember. I know it was around the time I got divorced from my first wife. And eventually I got a bit fed up with the travelling. It is quite away, Pudsey on a Tuesday night from Rottenstall. It's a good hour and a bit, and I just decided I wasn't prepared to do that. And then I met Karen. She lived in Huddersfield. Met her through bowling, and then I started to play at Thongsbridge on a Tuesday night, just as another way of being able to go and see Karen, really. She chose Thongsbridge for me. I asked her which team I should play for. Thongsbridge was the one, she said, and I should always trust a woman's judgment. The fit was really good. I love Thongsbridge, the way that the team is so professional. I think a few people see us as being a bit boring, but we love bowling and we play to win. So we play hard. We play bowls hard, and then once we've got the job done, if we get the job done, then we'll party hard too. Got some fantastic players there, but for me, Chris Kelly, the captain, he really defines the team, how we are, how we function, our attitude towards how we approach games, and he must do something right, because we've won the Murphyfield League a couple of times. I've won the averages, which I can't believe. So my reasons for playing in Yorkshire were twofold. Firstly, to keep my game sharp and to play at the highest level I could, and secondly, so I could see my lovely Karen an extra night a week. I'll let you decide which of those is you think's most important, but I can actually absolutely guarantee that the second reason was. Can't believe I got through that. Anyway, so those were the two questions this week. If you've got, I have got a few lined up, few that I've got planned out. But if you want to ask any more questions, please don't hesitate to contact me via email or via the comments on YouTube. I do have a Twitter account, but nobody really bothers with it, so I won't worry about that. Just a reminder, if you've enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you've enjoyed the video, you're not already a subscriber and you want to become a Bowls Buddy, hit the subscribe button. You just need an email address. Once you've done that, click the notifications, and that'll tell you when there's any new content coming up on the channel. Don't forget, I've got a quiz from last Monday's vlog. I won't say I've been overwhelmed with entries, so I know it's not a great prize, but it's something. So I'll be doing the draw for that on Monday. Entries close Sunday night. So thanks for watching, guys. Really enjoy doing these Ask Andys. Each one could be a half hour long, no problem, but you don't really want to listen to me spouting for that length of time. So all it leaves me to say is stay at home. If you do go on the greens, please stay safe. I'll see you on the other side. Thanks, balls buddies.